What's up with it, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Raider Honcho, and I'm back with a brand new video for you. If you're a fan of the Las Vegas Raiders and want to support this channel, please subscribe. Also, if you're already a subscriber and you want to be an exclusive member, get exclusive content, hit that join button or hit the link in the description. You get all kind of exclusive perks like emojis, badges, exclusive members-only chats, all kind of stuff, man. So if you want to become a member, definitely hit that, all right? It helps me out a ton, so I appreciate anybody who's already done that. Also, check out Raiderhoncho.com, pick up some of that merch, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Both are at Raider Honcho. So let's get right into it. I know you've seen the thumbnail. I know it's the off season, but all I do is cook up that content. I just keep cooking it up. I'm chefing up all the content, man. So you already know where to come to, all right? So now, we need to fire Jon Gruden after next season. If, ... After next season, we need to fire Jon Gruden if the Raiders continue to play undisciplined football. Yes, I said it. I'm a former player. I'm a coach. I know what it looks like to see an undisciplined team on the field. You're talking about all the wrong penalties at all the wrong times, okay? Like, that comes from the coaching. If you don't put an emphasis on playing the game the right way, your players aren't going to play the game the right way. If there's no accountability being held, not just by veteran leadership in the locker room, but by the coaching staff, the players are going to do whatever the hell they want to do. I just remember we could talk about the Miami game with the hands to the face penalty. We could talk about I don't even remember what game it was, but I remember Renfro ran a kickback, a punt back, and like Abrams had a terrible personal foul penalty on the play. That stuff stems from the leadership, and the leadership stems from the coaching staff. So you got to fire Jon Gruden after next season if the Raiders continue to play undisciplined football. And not just play undisciplined football, just be undisciplined in general. Not following the COVID protocols, not being ready for big games. Those things come down to the coaching staff, right? When you talk about the Atlanta Falcons games last year, the Raiders were clearly not up for that game, not ready for that game. You talk about them a week before that going to the Jets, they clearly were not ready for the game, and they were not up for the game. You rewind to the year before that, I went to that Jets game. They were just not ready for that game. And if Jon Gruden just continues to put a team on the field that is not getting ready, if he can't get them up and get them right for these big games, then he needs to go. So you got to fire Jon Gruden if that continues to happen. Another thing, you got to fire Jon Gruden after next season if the Raiders continue to struggle in the red zone. Yes, I said it. He has to do a much better job of being creative in the red zone. I think overall you need to fire him if he doesn't get more creative with the playbook in general, right? But I'll touch on that next. But as far as the red zone is concerned, now you can put some blame on Derek Carr. Absolutely, I do. I do put blame on the players because the players have to play. But at the same time, the coaches have to put the players in the best position to succeed, and I just don't feel like he's been doing that. Now, shout out to somebody on Twitter. I wish I knew your Twitter handle right now because you brought up a great stat to me and you showed that Jon Gruden has actually improved Derek Carr's completion percentage in the red zone. So it's not Jon Gruden's fault is what you're saying. But I will point out the fact that Derek Carr has improved by 14, 15, 20% in his completion percentage in the red zone, and the Raiders still suck in the red zone, would have to point to the fact that it must not be just Derek Carr. Right? If Derek Carr is getting better in the red zone and the Raiders are still getting worse in the red zone, then I have to not put that much blame on Derek Carr, and I have to put that blame on the coaching. Now, if you keep coming out with two running back sets, if you keep coming out with 3 tight end sets, it's very predictable. It's easy to cover. You're in the NFL. You got to be more creative, and this is another one that you should fire Jon Gruden if he doesn't become more creative with the playbook anyway, because you got Josh Jacobs, you got Kenyon Drake, you got Foster Moreau, you got Darren Waller, you got Brian Edwards, you got Henry Ruggs, and you also got Hunter Renfro. Spread the field, spread the defense. Make the defense cover the entire field. If you spread the defense out, you'll find more windows. When you condense the offense with 3 tight ends and 2 running backs, you condense the defense. It's easier to cover you. It is easier to cover you that way. So he has to be more creative, and I put that on him to figure out a way to get those guys the ball in space and let them do what they got to do to score touchdowns. Like, I mean, when you really think about all the weapons we have, right? When you think about all the weapons we have, it makes no sense why we shouldn't have more production in the red zone. And I don't put all of the blame on Derek Carr because if you run it on 1st and 2nd down and then you pass it on 3rd and goal, that's easy. That's predictable. That's predictable. if I'm a defensive coordinator and I know, look, I watch a lot of film and they run first and second down and they throw on third down, and when they come out 3 tight end sets, this is the stuff they like to run. You become very one-dimensional and it's very predictable. And I think Jon Gruden needs to be fired if he doesn't fix those things, okay? So, for the sake of not keeping this video so long, I'm only going to name one more thing. The Raiders should absolutely fire Jon Gruden after next season if the Raiders continue to collapse in the second half. And I leave it at that because not just the second half of games, we all know we start out great on the first drive because you know why? Because head coaches are really good at scripting the first 10 plays. And then after the first 10 plays, people make adjustments and now you got to coach. Now you got to figure out what you're going to do. Because if I watch film on you all week for 2 weeks, I can put together 10 plays that are going to be successful. But now what am I going to do once you start adapting and adjusting what I've been doing for those 10 plays? How do I go back and forth as a coach? Jon Gruden has been outcoached in a lot of these games. Jon Gruden has been outcoached by coaches that should not be outcoaching him. They should not be outcoaching him, but they are. I've seen it. Especially his former coaches, people that worked under him or with him, definitely be outcoaching his ass, okay? So, the second half of games you've seen a collapse, but more importantly and more disgusting, more hard for me to stomach, is the fact that we have collapsed in back-to-back seasons after about 9 to 10 games. Jon Gruden should be fired if we collapse one more time. If we collapse one more time, Jon Gruden, you have to go. And I love Jon Gruden. I will say that for the first time. I love Jon Gruden, but he's going to have to go. Okay, because 2 years ago, I believe we started 6-4. Last year, we started 6-3, and somehow we only managed to go 7-9 and 8-8 respectively. That is not acceptable. And I understand you gave him 10 years, $100 million. And I understand he had to rebuild a team and reload a team. I understand that. But you have to draw the line somewhere where it goes, is slow progress better than no progress? And in most cases, you would say yes. But in the case of an NFL team and you pay a guy $100 million for 10 years and he's going into his 4th season now, it becomes a time where slow progress is not better than no progress. Okay? It's not. Slow progress becomes no progress, because if you're going slow and everybody's going fast, you'll never catch up. You'll never get that lap when they lap you. You'll never get back on that. You'll just be chasing them and you'll always be one lap back. So, I do understand that this year for me it's not a playoff or bust. It's not a Super Bowl or bust. But Jon Gruden needs to be fired if the Raiders cannot get better in the ways where they were terrible last year. We cannot collapse in the second half of games or seasons. We cannot continue to struggle in the red zone and be one of the worst red zone teams in the NFL. We cannot continue to play undisciplined football. And we cannot continue to have Jon Gruden calling the plays with no creativity. Those are the things that have to change. Get in the comments and let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about Jon Gruden being fired after next season if all those things I named don't get fixed. If you like the video, well damn, like the video. If you like the content on this channel, subscribe to the channel. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, become a member today by clicking the join button or hitting the link in my description. All kinds of exclusive stuff. Once the season starts, we're talking about member-only chats, member-only lives. We're talking about all kind of fire stuff that's coming up exclusive for my members. And I appreciate everybody who's taking out the time to either subscribe or become a member. So you already know the vibes. Until the next time. Raider Honcho out.